Say make we not talk, but thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. And people make you shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. I bet it's a Sunday wherever you are as well. So, welcome to the Sunday sermon with Mayegun today.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀.
Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, you need to share the broadcast. Invite others too. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun today. Now, share it.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun Diary, Diary politico. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun Diary. Ani Mayegun làwa.
Thank you. Now, see what we are doing in Lagos. Thank you very much. I miss you too. I missed last night, by the way, because I traveled down to Manchester to go and see two big uncles of mine that I haven't seen for decades. Can you believe that? So luckily they converged in London for a family program. I couldn't make that, but luckily for me, they were coming midway. So we met in Manchester. Even when we were parking somewhere in Manchester, when I was parking, right? Somebody came out. We were looking for where to eat on Moston Lane. So when we're parking, a man walked out of a shop, and it was like, "Don't sell food to this Odogbolu. He's not a friend of Tinubu. He's always, criticizing Tinubu and all of that." So we just laughed. But fair enough. I don't know if he's watching. He ended up being the one to take us to the right place. So yeah, I missed you all. But it was for something good too. So I am back. While they were dancing in Lagos, the terrorists that are Boko Haram members who were locked up at the Kirikiri maximum and the medium prison in Lagos received their amnesty codedly while everyone danced away. Meanwhile, still share the broadcast. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Meanwhile, if there is any kind of, audio interruption, okay, suddenly my voice just dead. Please raise the alarm. I'll be staring at my screen, the screen in front of me, by the way. So, if you have read the caption of this broadcast, somehow you should have digested it, because you might have a chance of having your own say too. They say there is fire on the mountain. There is fire on the mountain top. Everybody run, run, run. When fella said run, oh, now that is what you have to do. You know what? There has been so many underhand, behind the scene efforts to ensure that those who have committed these heinous crimes of terrorism against the people of Nigeria, there is this effort to ensure that they will never, ever stand justice. Now, I don't know what that means to you, but I can tell you this free of charge. It has further helped in escalating, right? And in fact, aggravating already, already shaky country. It has now aggravated the insecurity, and that puts every one of us in the danger of what they are doing. That is why I said, I don't know what that means to you. But let me tell you what they did. In 2009, the government of Nigeria, in their usuals, they raided few states in northern Nigeria as the people suspected to be members of Boko Haram. This was 13 years ago. But in their usual way, they locked them all up, 164 of them, from states like Borno, Kano, Bauchi, and one other like that. So they were held in different prisons up north for those period. No trial, no nothing. Then their courts in northern Nigeria freed them of whatever, the act of terror or being a member of a Boko Haram terrorist group. Fast forward to 2013, the Nigeria government under Goodluck Ebere Jonathan moved every one of them, 164 of them, down to Lagos. I don't think you are aware, are you? Were you aware of them? Been in Lagos for the past 9 years. No? Well, they've been. Now, it's going to get interesting. Just relax. Now, for these 9 years that they have been in Lagos, yeah, they have been more or less like the holding cell for the potential terrorist attack in Yoruba land, Western Nigeria. However, nobody knew that they were there until recently. Now, for that 9 years, according to the report, a lot of them died, and they could only account for 104 of them. But as they were in Kirikiri prison, yeah, their own sponsors, the leaders, the financiers of Boko Haram terrorism in Nigeria, they never forgot any one of them. None of them was forgotten. Until recently, when there is need to do that. Now, let's now just take a leap back again, not forward, back again to 2015. The Boko Haram terrorist in 2015 was holding the northeast of Nigeria at a old choke. To the point that one of the questions people were asking was, what happened to the people arrested and linked to the terrorism? What happened to their trial? What happened to their prosecution? Nothing. You know why? Under Goodluck Jonathan, there was no law on terrorism at all at the time. So they had no whatever to try them with. So 2015, APC, Egbekegbe came. In one of their promises, they said, if you want to end terrorism in Nigeria, you would first need to deal with the sponsor of terrorism. That was what they told you, because that was easy. I mean, if they are coming to expose the sponsor of terrorism, that should be hope or change. That was 2015. When they came in, few of these terrorists were going through trials then for their crimes. When APC, Egbekegbe came in, they halted everything. Then they started the backdoor program that they called Operation Safe Corridor. That is a bold intention to say, we are not here to try any of these guys for their crimes. No, they didn't stop there, by the way. No, they didn't. They started offering them a disguised amnesty called rehabilitation. Yeah? And that opened a different door. In this industry, terrorist industry that they have finally brought in, trial of terrorists, no, forget it. Oh, the victims of the terrorism, oh, they are still in the IDP camps. And whatever is due them have been allocated, but they never get to them. Now, that is the part of the malady. But guess what? The terrorists are never going to be tried. I mean, they have laid down their arms. They've surrendered. So what else do you want? International practice says once they have surrendered, then you don't beat a dead horse. Oh, fear statements. But how come that in 7 years of APC, over 69,000 terrorists have repented, according to them, according to their data. And they're so proud of that. 69,000 repentant terrorists who once lived in the forest, raised arms, and destroyed lives and properties of Nigerians. But none of them could give a hint to who is their sponsor, and then how this could end. Rather, it has become a bigger and bigger and bigger industry that continue to what? To suck your blood. Now let's go back to Kirikiri. The news broke that Buhari's government have released 101 terrorists, because out of the 104 that they are able to account for now, 3 of them are dead, accounted for. Out of the 101, 6 of them don't run mad. Of course, because the government of Nigeria, according to the courts, their contact with the rest of the world, including their family, almost 10 years ago. 6 are mad, but they have been released. And the drama of their release is even kind of a more shady. Do you know they are denying it now? Okay. Now, this is what happened. Let's go back to the story of Abuja-Kaduna Railway, because this is what led to their release. From the insider, in that same Kirikiri, for those who have lived with them and living with them until the last 2 days, they said the Kaduna attack, they are aware of that already at Kirikiri, courtesy of these guys, before it happened at all. Then the Kuje prison break, they are already aware of that. They just didn't give dates, according to them. The source inside that same Kirikiri, right? Now, same thing, their release, according to those who are also inside that same prison. The source said, well, they've been bragging about it. They said they were going to leave by October, because they know if they are not released by October, they are not released by Buhari, another person that may come in may not be their tribesman. Do you get that now? And that may be a lost complete battle for them until they are all dead. But with what they are doing on the ground, they must be released in October. Now that is not reported. Do you know that? 101. So they said when they kidnapped the Kaduna Abuja rail passengers. Thank you. Sorry. I think, yeah, if you have, if the audio is acting up, please let me know. I'm glad that I quickly got that. Yeah. Fair enough. Is it better? Thank you. Yeah, let's check. Right. I think it's much better again, isn't it? Thank you. So the whole plot, as many of you are currently in the mood of what do you call your charade election and all that, right? The devil, as they say, comes in the night and it plants the seed. It plants the death, plants every other thing that will eventually besiege you in the morning. Thank you very much. The moment you notice that the audio is a little bit off, within 30 seconds, I can bring it back up again, okay? Because I can see the comment. So thank you. I think I should get myself a headset as well so that I can hear myself if the sound is off or not. But anyway, thank you. 101 terrorists who have been living in Lagos for 9 years, and they have been in contact with their sponsor and their other members across Nigeria, have finally been released. And Nigerian government, the Nigerian army, today, they are denying it. We have names. So let me see if I can bring this onto your screen and we can see them together. Look at this. Let me see if I can get that on. This is a report by the, FIJ, right? FIJ is the, what do you call it? I think they are called the Federal Institute of Journalism. I'm not sure, but they are called the FIJ. In their report, they are good at this. Okay, if you check your screen, let me see if I can get that those names up. Now, look at all these names. These are the names of the terrorists that they have released. A country that is battling with this level of terrorism and all of their efforts over the years are not to really end the act of terror, but to maintain the terror as long as they are the ones controlling the terror. Now, the terrorists the people who promised to end terrorism have now taken charge to free terrorists. Now, they call it amnesty. I mean, come on, right? Now, I'll read few names. If you have the chance, you can read with me. Now, these are the names of those they have released, but they are denying them right now. We have Muhammad Adamu, Malamaji, Muhammad Buka, Kachala, Kumar, and the list on and on like that. Alaji, Alaji Abubakar, Abdul Wahid Ibrahim, Babagana. Now they've all received amnesty. This is after the negotiation for the final release, of the release of the final 23 Kaduna Abuja or Abuja Kaduna railway passengers kidnapped since the 28th of March 2022. Now, remember that the negotiator, the person negotiating for the release of the terrorists, Mamu Tukor, is under arrest as well. According to the report of their own reports, the terror of March 28 along Abuja Kaduna Railway did not just claim the lives of innocent people that day and after as well, right? It also drained the resources, the life savings, the inheritance, everything of the families of the victims. These terrorists made billions. I was analyzing before. I said they made over 1.4 billion. No. They have reported now that they actually made over 3 billion naira on this Kaduna Abuja passengers then. Now, what now happened was that they made a deal with Nigeria that all of their detained members, leaders, must be released if they want them to release the captive, the Nigerian kidnapped victims here, yeah? Now, that is something that because Nigeria is being run like a, like a cabal, or like what do you call it? Like a racket. They just paved the way for the terrorists to break into the medium security prison in Abuja, where all security personnel were stand down. The guys came in, released over 600 to 700 prisoners, and today over 400 of them are nowhere to be found. That's part of the deal. In fact, some of the Abuja Kaduna rail passengers kidnapped also said a day after the Kuje prison break, some of these leaders who escaped from Kuje prison, they came straight to the camp where they were keeping them. And they said, well, some of you are going to regain your freedom soon. And they said, well, they celebrated the freedom of their leader. That happened, though. It happened, though. I'm still coming to where this actually concerns you when they talk about this insecurity. And sometimes you brush aside all this, right? Now, tomorrow, you are going to call on God. Why did he let this happen to you or to the people you love? Why did God let this act of terrorism? Why, God? Hopefully, you will never have to witness this. And if you ever find yourself in that situation, maybe my voice will be ringing bells in your head, reminding you that terrorists were being freed without any explanation. Their data, names, faces are unknown. Their whereabouts are unknown. And you are comfortable because they promise you Nigeria is going to be great. All you need to do is to believe them and trust them. So they stood down the security of Kuje prison. You know the story. Those terrorists freed are back in their camps. And they are not being looked for. You know that. Nobody is looking for them. Because what's the essence of looking for them? There's no plan of prosecuting them. There's no data to check and see how many of them actually repented indeed and can be traced and say, oh, yeah, we still saw him yesterday. You remember this story, the Boko Haram terrorist that served 10 years in jail. He is now he's been rehabilitated. He is now a professor in University, Ahmadu Bello University, teaching about terrorism and what do you call it? I'm just saying something that you can relate with. Nothing. Just all blank shit until you become a victim. Now, right there in the heartland of Lagos, that same 2015, the US CIA, FBI, in their reports, detailed reports warned us of the incursion and invasion of the southern Nigeria by the Jamaatul Islamiyah fighter terrorist Boko Haram, who are also known as ISWAP, that they were going to, in fact, they are coming down south. That was 2015. So the people who have no plan, government of Nigeria have no plan of prosecuting any of these guys for their crimes. And in fact, they have no plan of squeezing them of any information that could put an end to the risk and danger that is lurking around you as you are watching me right now, because you know it. You are prone to that danger. And it can strike anytime. You know that. So that gave me a goosebump that said, wow. So if they were not released, there could, there could have been possibility of, jailbreak in Lagos, and that could easily have sent enough shivers down your spine, because, as you know, it's never going to be something you've seen before as well. But look at it that way: 101 terrorists are now on the bus, or wherever they are using to transport them, to wherever they are transporting them to, and there is no data on who did what and why. The last time they appeared in court, by the way, it was in that same Lagos, where they were arguing that if they were to have been prosecuted for whatever they were arrested for, by now they would have served their time. You know what I mean? Because when they were arrested, there was no law, anti-terrorism law or this or that in place, so they could not be prosecuted under the law that that were made after their arrest. You know what I mean now? So logically, so they argued, you know what, for the sake of national security and what these guys actually were involved in, they court threw out the argument, only for Buhari to secretly sign them out. 69,000 repentant terrorists in Borno, northeast of Nigeria alone. And you don't even have their names. You have no clue about them. They are living there, as part of the industry they have created. So keep the names. If you see have them on your screen, I'll bring them back on, and then you can screenshot them and keep them for yourself. For those of you who will likely run into them, hire them as your security guards. Hire them as your farmhand and the rest of those. Hire them for whatever you know you believe may give you any kind of sense of patriotism or nationalism. But guess what? Just have an idea of the people you are bringing around. Now, this is not helping. You know that they said Buhari have to release all of them, or else they don't believe that, because number one, they are never going to be prosecuted. There's no plan in jailing terrorists in Nigeria. Do you know that? There's no plan. None. So I just thought you should, in a way, if you have if you still have any sort of, a mind of yours to just picture what this is in reality, when that reality is down on you. Somebody said, can we not, or can we? I didn't get that, Femi Tai. Can we not upload their names on social media, or can we please upload their names on social media? I think I would rather go with the latter. We should let everybody know. Do you know that normally, if you go on to these crime fighters, there's this web called a Crime Fighter. Do you get that now? Crime Fighters, right? If you go online, I think, I don't know the exact web, right? And you want to know the names of criminals who have come under the net, or the dragnet of the authority of different countries. Now, you are not there. You are not from there, okay? Don't worry. You are not from there. But you want to know, like in the US, in the UK, that. Especially those who have committed act of terrorism, act of terror. Do you get that now? Like, oh, somebody had somebody on the road and they stabbed them. And eventually they have been arrested and they have to be prosecuted and all that, right? You see, that kind of data, they are available on the net all over the world, including those who have committed act of terror and they are dead. You will see them out there. But in Nigeria, that is proud to have 69,000 repentant terrorists, You have no data of these terrorists because there is no plan of letting you know them. There's no plan of because you see, if they have plan of letting you know them, they will prosecute them. They will have their data. They will have their biometrics and everything. Abi, that's how you do if you want to keep your citizens safe. No be so? Eh? Not in Nigeria where it is where it is vibes and inshallah. God knows best. God is the one. God will guide us. But right before your eyes, you are seeing the handiwork of humans. Devils in humans. And their actions are coming back to haunt you, even if you are living in denial of it. You have no data of these guys. You don't even know their names. You don't know their faces. They are everywhere. And that is why the people that were arrested for act of terrorism in Nigeria, under the same Nigerian government, in this same democracy, people that were put under surveillance, today, they are party leaders in APC. They are religious leaders in northern Nigeria. And they are still there, revered, respected, while they continue to spread their own, their what do you call it, their terror ideology that is enveloping all of us today. So Nigeria has no plan of punishing terrorists, and that is dangerous, no matter which side of the coin you are right now. That puts everyone in the danger that if you are actually like honest with yourselves, you will never want to be seen to be associated with a system that actually like institutionalize this. They institutionalize the danger and put you in the dark where you could be, you could be the next victim anytime. It doesn't matter where you are or who you are. And that's the reality today. So I don't know. Think about that. I'll make of that whatever you think as well. So there is this part, the obedient. Una don't provoke what is now the, should I call it your campaign strategy now? Usually what we used to experience were to see your Lord and Saviors, the savior of the Manons in Nigeria, eating agbado here, changing diapers for babies there, or plating women here, there, or doing one or two things that makes them be like they are part of you, or jumping on Okada and other stuff. But all of a sudden, start waiting, you call the 1 million man march, 10 million man march, until you have provoked the base of the establishment. And today, MC Olueron is headlining for Tifnumbu in Lagos. I'll show you a few clips, okay? But it is what it is. If it is where your bread is also being buttered in a way, you're going to be feeling elated, won't you? In this life right now, people still put on their APC, a t-shirt, and they are still shouting APC. And you are also, in a way, thinking that there is actually hope for Nigeria. Obedient said they have hope for Nigeria. But when it comes to Lagos, and you have to force them to show to you that this is Lagos, then I believe that something is kind of pushing too, Abi. So, and that's where MC Olueron comes in today in Lagos. Let's take a peep.
Aṣíwájú for president yo. Taking power kò sí ẹ̀ mọ́. Aṣíwájú for president yo.